And is this one working?
I have 9:45. What does everybody else have?
Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay. Hi, good morning, everybody. We are going to talk this morning about utilizing your case management system to communicate with community partners. I'm Mary Jo Melendez. I'm with Lone Star Legal Aid out of our Nacogdoches office. We have Janice Rivera joining us via Zoom from Houston, and this is Nick Whitaker, also from our Houston office.
Morning, everyone. Thank you for being here on Saturday morning in the last few hours of the conference. You know, if you're anything like me, you've already learned a lot. Probably don't know how much more capacity you have, but we're going to try. And there's, well, not a ton left. Some bonus candy up here if anyone needs a little pick-me-up. We're from Lone Star Legal Aid. We cover Texas Gulf Coast and East Texas. And this morning we're going to talk about ways you can use LegalServer to make a referral portal, an access point for community partners to send referrals to your case management system and then track them in your system. We'll use LegalServer's online intake module and restricted access user rules to do that. You may have seen some presentations on some of those things, so those lessons should translate here pretty well. And first, we'll talk about why we wanted to do this at Lone Star, how we came up with the idea, and then Mary Jo will talk some about the general principles for setting one up. And then Janice will take you all how to set it up through LegalServer and give a demonstration of how it works. And then finally, we'll talk about how it's actually been working for us in our real use case. Before starting, how many of you in here team up with community partners? Presumably everyone, Legal Aid. How many of you get referrals directly from community partners? Right. Does anyone mind sharing how you get those referrals? Okay. Email anyone else? Anyone still faxing anything? No.
Yes.
Okay, that sounds like it might be similar to some of what we'll be talking about.
Right.
All right. Well, no. Well, this is another option to maybe avoid some back and forth emails, and you have paper, hopefully, to get off of that. So just a little background to the project. So we started this project because we got a SSVF grant, supportive services for veteran families, and we were through some community partners of ours, and our partners wanted to send us referrals and know their status without the back and forth emails or wondering if we're going to pick it up or when we're going to call them. And they kind of wanted to see, what's going on. If we send you someone, are you going to call them? Basically make a warm handoff without having to come down or make sure someone's able to pick up the phone. So we took our experience with online intake and pro bono restricted user access and created a referral system with an access point for our partners.
Oh, my turn? Okay. All right. So what we have done is got to put my glasses on. Sorry. We've set up a referral portal using the online intake module to track so that the referring agency can go directly to that portal. It's an access point, and each one of our community partners has their own portal. So we have a referring agency when it comes in. We're able to sort it on the back end with reports. Our veterans unit receives referrals directly, and then they can contact the applicants back about what legal services they need. The community partners are able to log into the system and see who they referred, the information that they provided to us, and we have a special referral field showing where we are in the process. So we're not actually giving out any confidential information. We've created a custom field telling the referral agency if it's still on hold, if it's pending, if it's been open, or if it's been closed, without detailing exactly what the case status is. And in some cases, the community partner can also upload documents from the applicant in the referral process. The partners send the information through to the case management system through the online referral portal instead of the general intake, because it's much simpler, it's much more concise. Using the online portal allows partners to help their clients get their information to us. It helps the applicant if they're not computer savvy, or they don't have a cell phone or access to a tablet or anything, or they're just scattered. The community partner can actually complete the referral and send it to us. It separates that specific program from the general intake so that it automatically goes to the unit that's going to be handling that type of case. In our case, it's the veterans unit. So all the referrals that come in through the SSVF portal go directly to the veterans unit for processing, thereby skipping our centralized intake. And it also gives you the ability to tailor questions to those specific programs. The partners are able to access and get information through our case management system through the special access point, where they log in and see the limited information. Through this access point, they can review their submissions for errors, they can upload documents, and see the case information and updates as we allow. Creating this online referral portal is a collaborative effort between the community partner and your agency. Topics to discuss include: what information does the partner have permission to provide? The eligibility criteria for referrals, because as you know, each grant has its own specific requirements. It can limit the number of referrals, or it can be wide open. It just depends on what you have set up with that agency. And what will be shared with the partner from the case management system. Client confidentiality is a big concern for us, so we are limited to what we share. We can also set up what the applicant or the referral can expect in terms of the response time to be contacted, and we also have points of contact for each referral organization. They know who to contact in our organization, and we know who to contact in theirs. Again, client confidentiality is a constant concern, especially when sharing information. Privileged information should never be shared. Other information shared by a provider through its case management system should be shared with the consent of the client. And partners should ensure that they have consent to make referrals to us, especially if protected health information is involved. When we were creating the tools for your partners, we created online forms that allow the partners to submit information to us through LegalServer, but it can work with any case management system. We create new fields if necessary to capture that referral information. We created our online intake forms with guided navigation. We set up the intake type and program and set up field transfers so the information transfers to your case management system. We created an access point for partners to view limited case information by setting up I think this was yours, Janice, wasn't it?
No, that's okay. That's okay. How about you do the words and then I'll just do
okay.
I'll show everything. It'll give me time to show like the guided nav and kind of like the back end stuff.
Okay. So what we have done is we've created a homepage or a section front for this profile. We have created a special case matter profile for these referral agencies. We set up user roles for each partners and a user profile for each partner. Once we've done this, if we have one partner, we can then copy the user. We don't have to recreate user roles. We can just assign them to the same user roles We can assign them to the same basic home pages and everything. The only thing new that we're creating is the user profile for each partner. You want to take it from here?
Okay. Yes, yes. So the way it's ordered here, that where it starts homepage and then the case matter profile, user role, user profile. This is the order I recommend y'all build it out, because I tried doing it the opposite way. And the thing is that the user role, the user profile requires a user role. The user role requires a profile view. So instead of working in order, you would think you start working backwards. So we built out the homepage section. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you what the portal, the access point for the partner looks like. I'll show you, the referral intake and, a few other things. Let me.
This should be the order Janice was talking about here.
Yeah. The homepage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's look at some screenshots first, and then, I'll go through the actual process. So we can go to the next slide, Nick. So this is a simple, very simple intake form for the community partners. It can be as simple or as complex as you'd like, depending on how much information you want to gather from them. Right now, we're just collecting contact information, and reason for the referral. So for today's examples, we're just going to be using kind of animal shelter referrals. And you'll see how that works. Let's go to the next slide. I can't tell are we on the create a community
Yes.
partner specific intake
Yes.
type and program?
Yes.
So if this isn't necessary, but if like we have 5 or 6 partners and we want to distinguish which intakes are coming from which partner. So we've created a specific intake type for each one, and a program. No, I think we did the specific intake was like an outside referral. So they'll all show up as outside referrals, but the programs, like this is going to be Anna's Angels. And then we have one for, as Nick and Mary Jo mentioned, the SSVF partners. Each one has their own program. And for the next slide, you'll see what the transfers to the legal server database, how they come through. They come through just the same as every other e-transfer. You can make your own tab list view. And I'll show you that as well here in a little bit. And on the next slide, you'll see the community partner homepage is the one on the top, and their case profile page, which is very minimal, the information that we provide. And again, you can make this as simple or complex as you'd like. And the next slide shows the community partner user role, where it shows where, you have to choose their home, the home view, and then the main profile, which you've already created. And then you create the user profile where, it's user role. For this presentation is the IT presentation user role. Let me share my screen.
Okay.
And start on here. And you should be able to see Anna's Angels Referral Agency.
Oh, wait a minute.
No?
Can
y'all see it?
Just have to maximize you.
Oh, if you need me to expand, let me know because it's kind of small. Can y'all,
Yeah. There we go.
I can make it. Is that better?
Is that better for everybody? Hang on, let me. Okay. So what? Okay. Okay,
That's
we're
it?
ready.
Okay. So this is Anna's Angels Referral Agency. And as you can see, Anna's up here in the top left. And it took me longer to format her picture than it did to create this whole thing. And that is the truth. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and enter some stuff. You can see that I've tried this before, so I'm just going to make it a little bit faster for everyone. And what we're using, I'll show you the actual guided nav dialogue, but it's just the applicant name block, applicant phone number block, the system field, email address, and these two are our custom fields. So Anna's agency is the umbrella of, let's say, 3 branches. And today it's going to be Hannah's House Hippos. Excuse me. Hannah's House Hippos. And then I will just put a reason here. I'm just going to la, but I'll show you what the reason is when we, I don't want to bore you to death trying to figure out a reason. And then this is is this an emergency matter? It's just the system field emergency. You can use it or not. And again, we're making, like Peloton instructor Dennis Morton says, I make suggestions, you make decisions. You can choose to use this as a template and you can make it as long or as short as you'd like. We're going to put no on the emergency matter. And then it's going to take its time and give us the thank you for your referral. Now we're going to go to the legal server database, just my regular, and you'll see my travel pibbles came through. And you do what you normally do, go through and start your intake and continue. Let me see if you can see. I'm not going to go through all that. That's going to take a long time. So then it ends up on Anna's view. This is the community partner portal, basically. And we've designed it to be very simple, very user friendly. We've created 2 tabs for them. We've given them access to their referral link, what you just saw, their online intake, so they can just go into their portal, click on their referral link, and it opens up in a new tab, making it easy for them to just submit the information. We created a report so that Anna can basically check on the status of the referrals. And we have Mr. Pibbles here that we're going to click on his matter case ID. And we're only allowing the partner to view their referral information. Hannah's House Hippos is where Mr. Pibbles is coming from, and he's seeking representation for discrimination at the dog park. Again, the client information, which is just their contact information, and the case information holds the case status. So right now, Anna can see that it's on hold, that the intake is completed. And once, it moves through all the processes, advice or extended service or however, she'll always be able to keep up with us. If, this is an easy, I'm not a reports person, but this one was actually pretty easy to create. And if you don't want them to have any access at all to the case, you just remove this column, the matter case ID. But I think it's worked out pretty well with our community partners. And then the second tab is just the Legal Beagle's contact info, and it's just phone number, email, and you can always add additional information here. If they need a password reset for their legal server or anything, you can include IT or your admin. But it's very simple. I'm kind of proud of it. Let me go ahead and go through. Let me make sure that y'all can see, because sometimes I just don't know how to share. Can you see my guided nav?
Yes.
Okay. So as you can see, the dialogue, it's just 2 segments. It's very simple. It's the referral application page, which is the first page. It has the applicant name block. I use the instruction element with spaces to kind of put space in between the questions or the fields, because that's just me. I don't like everything all smushed together. And then the applicant phone number block, again, an instruction, the email address, excuse me, and then our custom fields and the emergency fields. Now we do have like our hidden fields for tracking purposes, the intake date, the intake time, and then you have the intake type, which we set to the outside referral that we created. And then the intake program is Anna's Angels. And then I also have, just like another tracking, just for the presentation's sake. Is this for ITC? Yes, in case somebody is playing around with it. So all of those are hidden, but you can always pull a report on it. Then the transfer application, of course, has the online intake transfer block with the Anna's Angels program, and then whatever you'd like to fill out there. So it's as simple. We try to make it as simple and user friendly as possible. But again, you can make it as complex as a general online intake that you do for your other applicants. I think that's it. But are there any questions? Was there a question?
Yes. Yes. No. What she's done is create a report so that this profile only shows Anna's, and you can filter out from the general online intake and the other programs. I don't. That's a good question. I'm not.
What
I don't.
What
think
was
so.
it? Because I can't hear the question.
She's wanting to know if Anna's Angels program cases show up in our general case list. Oh, is this program show up in our program list, in our organization?
In the organization, let's see. Like if it automatically creates one?
Like if we go to assign something. We go to assign this case, will it show up, when we do the program, like staff or pro bono? I don't think it does. I think we only see staff or pro bono.
Yeah.
The programs are on the online intake site, not your live site.
Oh, that's true.
Right? So they're already separate. So your staff.
What'd they say?
And then when you transfer from your online intake site to your live site, there's a field called originating agency program. There's a text field on the receiving site, but it's run with program lookup on the online intake site.
Yes, so it's not going to show up when you do case assignments.
Yes, thank you. That is a good point. All of this is built out on the online all the online
Sorry.
intake is built out on the separate online intake server.
Yes.
Yeah. It could be, but For our live use one, we have a special referral field we made that doesn't show them exactly what's going on in our case management system. The veterans unit sets it separately to, they had different statuses that they wanted to show their partners.
Yeah.
So you could do it either way. Very, very customizable. It's like all the reports in Legal Server. You can pretty much show anything you want. And if it's not existing, you can make a custom field and fill it out. Geez, can we open that up again?
Janice, can you open up Chavez?
I can't hear the questions. I need
she
y'all,
wants to
if y'all
look
get,
at
if y'all get the,
what the case profile shows versus the report. Yeah.
Oh, that's just the header for that block. So, and that
Yeah.
should be,
Case
you know what?
information.
Let me get
and that would
the,
be, that's where we decided to show our case data. So we just set this up as how to organize it. You could give those different headers or show them different information. That's very customizable.
yeah, that's the flow block. Let me pull it up while y'all talk. If there's another question, I can pull that up to kind of show what it looks like. Cause it's the flow block. Here we go.
Yes. Yes. And that's it. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
You can definitely put something in the notes section, like under case information. So when they come up, you can have a note that says we've been trying to contact or unable to contact. So you can make this as customizable as you want it to be.
We specifically have like a rejection reason column that tells them if they weren't rejected, why, what happened. I think we didn't build out anything specifically like to send an email from Legal Server that automatically goes to them. I think if any issues arise that aren't answered on that report, that's where they look at that information contact page and either contact us or we contact our point person in their organization.
Yes.
Did you consider putting in your eligibility criteria so that you would be sure that the referrer had gone through that analysis and you were actually getting cases that you could accept?
So for this specific case, where they're subgrantees and so they should be familiar with the grant and know the eligibility criteria and they're referring them to us. That is something that is definitely good to plan out with your community partner. If there's varying eligibility requirements, you need to give them some information. You can certainly do that on the first page of the online intake. So, please check through these things before you submit, or you could have them fill out fields to confirm that. So that is, and one of the reasons this has been helpful is it skips our centralized intake, which is not something we normally want to do, but our centralized intake really only does LSC eligibility when everyone is coming in and screening. And this is pretty different eligibility requirements for this grant. And it is serviced by this particular unit only. So it's helpful to have them do the intake and know the specific eligibility requirements that our centralized intake unit doesn't have to keep up with the 50 different specialized grants that are out there. And Janice, were you
going to show the flow block? The back end?
yes. Well, there we go. So I have to minimize it so let me scoot over it. So the flow block, we did it to where, it's basic and you can't edit anything, but you can always make these editable. So let me pull this one down here. So like the email address, editable. Let's just so I can click on that. Like I say, just in case somebody gets a new email address, sometimes that happens. Let me go into her. I can't remember which one is her. Y'all, this is what happens when you have too many tabs open. This one? Yes. No? Sorry. It's a technology conference and I'm obviously having some tech issues.
We're well aware of tech issues. We had them yesterday.
Like, my goodness, where did I put everything? Where is Anna? Did I close her out? Of course I did.
Oh, Hannah.
I did close. There she is. Hold on. My bad. Did I not save it? I didn't save it. You see, this is what happened. So the flow block is very, interesting. If y'all haven't used it, you have to edit. And I always forget to click that check mark. So there, I've edited and then I click the check mark and then I save. All right. Make sure it's saved. And then let's refresh. And it's still not doing it, y'all. What it's supposed to do is the email address will be underlined and they can click on email address and it'll take them just to change their the email address. It won't take them anywhere else. It's just to change, it'll take them to a form, but it's just an email address. So they won't see anything else. And they'll be able to, and you can do that with anything here. You can add another block, if they want to, add any additional information. You can add add a document block in here as well, in case they got, new documents that they want to upload for, the case. And all of that is transferred to the case that staff sees. So it's the same case. It's just a different view.
So, my understanding, these flow blocks will become a lot more common in the next iteration of Legal Server, and so we'll all get to have a lot of fun with them.
Sorry, this is gonna bother me.
Does anybody have questions about flow block? Michael's here.
Michael will please ask Michael about flow blocks after any specific issues.
All right, are we ready to move on to these, or?
Yes, I can answer questions if they come up at the end.
Okay. All right. Stop sharing.
I did. I think I did.
Oh, sorry. All right. So.
All right, so Janice talked a little bit about using a report to show the information for the community partner. We also have reports that we can use to track what's going on with the cases and what the community partners are doing. So of course you can use reports to track the number of referrals you get from different community partners. Maybe you want to see who's more active, who's sending more cases. So you just filter by that originating agency, or you set up whatever other unique fields you want to be looking at. You can make them hidden fields on the back end of the online intake that you set up if you want to track something else specific coming in. Reports can, of course, be used to track outcomes. You can compare how many referrals are accepted for service and what type of service they're getting, and are different agencies sending people that are getting different types of services, compare that kind of data. You can review the reasons referrals aren't being accepted. Are your community partners sending you people that aren't eligible, and you got to go back and talk to them and have another conversation about what your eligibility for the grant is, or if there's some sort of LSC prohibition, they're trying to send you criminal defense cases for people who are otherwise eligible, and you need them to stop doing that. You can compare acceptance and service levels among community partners too. Just see who's sending what kind of cases to you. You can also run user reports on the user accounts you've created for people for your agencies to log in. To see how frequently they're actually accessing the CMS and using what you built out for them. Did they ask you to do all of this and they've only logged in once in the last year? You can see that if you want to. And so how has the project actually worked out in the real world? So far, we have received over 100 referrals from 4 different partners, which is not a huge number in the overall intake that we do, but all of these cases generally get handled for extended service if they can't get in touch with the client and have some, so they get that full service. Partners really appreciate the transparency and ease of use. They can, when people come back into their agency and they're like, I never heard back from Lone Star, they can say, well, it looks like Lone Star tried to call you and they were unable to contact. Why don't you go back and talk to them again? Did your phone number change? What happened? Or they can say, it looks like you were over income. That's different than what you told us. What's going on? Staff like having documents at intake. This grant deals with veterans. We have to get certain veteran documents and sometimes some health information, and that can be of course, community partner has to get the release to send all of that to us, and that's on their end. But assuming they have the permission to send that to us, they can upload those documents once the cases are in our system, and that makes it much easier when the unit does the initial intake to already have those documents. Both staff and partners are happy that they can work together to stay in contact with clients. Just talking about, especially with vulnerable populations, housing instability, people run out of minutes or using other people's cell phones, the numbers change, whatever is going on. Getting legal help is certainly a priority for them, but it may not be their top priority at that moment when you're faced with so many other issues, like just making sure you get fed and housed for the night. So if they don't follow up, we have someone who can help us do that, because we'll often be visiting the community partner for their other needs. And they can kind of give them reminders. It's also really helped bridge the digital gap with the vulnerable client population. It can be difficult for people to scan things. I don't know if any of you have ever asked clients to take a picture of a document and send it to you, but I don't know. Most of my clients really can't focus in any way that allows you to read the text. They don't have scanners. So if you have a community partner who already has their documents available and can send them to you, that's great. Some people just won't even get on a phone or computer, or don't have access to one to fill out an online intake. So the community partner can do that with them right there and just make sure it happens. They may have the best of intentions of doing it, but then get involved in something else an hour later and forget about it.
Life happens.
Yes. And I mean, we do have conversations. Our partners often want to see more information, and we often can't oblige, even if it was something that's not like attorney-client privileged. Sometimes the clients don't want the community partners knowing certain things that are going on. They're afraid it might jeopardize some other service they're getting over there, or they're just generally distrustful. So we try to keep it pretty minimal. Though depending on your population and what your grant is, you could show as much or as little as you'd like.
Are there any questions? I know we answered a lot going through, but is there any other questions that you have for us? Yes.
You just talked about documents. Are you going to add documents block on there for the partners to upload documents?
Yes.
So they can upload the document, but then they don't see anything after that. So they just upload and then it's gone for them. That actually we have received a request to at least let them know that some kind of confirmation that it was uploaded and received. So that is information we probably will provide them. We'll let them know that their document was received.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry if I missed you say this. On the issue of client authorization for the partner to see certain aspects of what comes to your case file, and is that release process built into the online referral portal? Is it still like a form you negotiate with the client, have it signed elsewhere and upload?
Yes, so the community agency will need to get whatever releases they need before they submit the information on the online intake. We're just receiving it at that point, so we don't have any form signed by the client. But once the unit calls the client back and does the intake, they will get a release of information at that time. I don't believe we put it into Legal Server yet. We do have a number of forms that can be digitally signed or generated in Legal Server. I don't think we have releases of information, but we may add that when we have the time to do it.
Yes. there was somebody over here.
It's music though, like that. Okay, so is it in my phone? Yeah. There we go.
Right.
So, just 1 minute on Flowbox. So Flowbox are replacements for the Snapshot sidebar, and Flowbox are customizable. You can have multiple Flowbox on the same case profile that you design separately. I've got if you want to see a really cool example, one of our public defenders uses about 15 different Flowbox on the case profile. Because they didn't like the way that the standard case deal Black and Bell looks on the case profile. They don't have those, they just have Flowbox. But it's because it's customizable, that you get to replace the sidebar, the snapshot on the side, or the snapshot on the top, if you use the snapshot top, and you give you lots of flexibility about how you use it.
Flowbox are certainly not required to do this. Janine showed you could just show the report with the basic information, or you could set up the case profile view another way, as long as you make sure it's limited. But they may be required with the next iteration of legal. No.
No.
Okay. No.
It's going to replace the
Oh, the sidebar. Oh, so they're right. They won't be seeing the sidebar anyway. But they are very customizable. So we wanted to learn how to use them. So that's why.
I thought it was more user friendly to external people, instead of, because staff is used to seeing the snapshot, but the flow block was like kind of very easy to read for those who are not in legal server all the time. But now we'll eventually all have to use it. So
You can set it to break it and have multiple comments.
That's okay.
No. So the online intake portion, and that's where you do the lookups for the agencies that will be sent. That's all built into the online intake server. Their access is in the live server. So you make the user role in the case profile view in your live
Instance.
Yeah, in your live instance. So it's kind of like if you set up pro bono restricted access, it's a user role and a profile view that's severely limited on what they see. So they can log in, but they can't see anything other than cases that have their originating agency program and whatever you allow on their flow blocks.
Yes.
No, they are logging into our legal server site.
Yes. I believe what's happened is each agency has a login, and only specific people from their agency log in to make the referrals. So I think it's very...
Well, and you don't have to log, as long as you have the URL.
Yeah,
you can make the referral, but to log in to check on the cases or to get the link because it's kind of a long link.
Yeah.
But yeah, the online intake, just being a website, anyone with the URL can access it. And
Right.
I mean, the community partner, that's probably part of the discussion you should have with them, is who's going to be able to log in and see it. But that's really, that has to happen that part of the security has to happen on their end. Good news there is it's very limited information. So
Yes.
So no, I think we just have points of contact that were already set up, but if there are going to be multiple people that be using it, that would be a good field to include. That's kind of the scalability. You make it as simple or as complex as you want for whatever your community partners or grant may call for.
Yes.
Ashley does our data and reporting at Lone Star, and she appreciates the reporting aspect of that. Sorry we left you off that slide for
Yes,
feedback.
sorry, Ashley.
Yes, makes it much easier to separate out your reporting for your subgrantees.
All right, are there any other questions?
Right. Well, if anything does come up, we have our email addresses down here. Feel free to contact us about anything that you may think about. I did not see anything in the app, but if anything comes through, we will keep checking it for the next day or so, and we'll answer.
Yeah. So, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.